What's up, guys and gals? Oh, we're going.
I love doing that right as you're about to do the intro.
Yeah,
it
it's good.
screws you up. It's perfect.
No, it doesn't. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're talking about we're on a podcast. What is
sure?
the podcast? Well, listen here. It's called What's the Diff? It's where we talk about things that are super similar, but also some kind of a little bit different. Things that often get confused. Things you might not have thought about. Things that you wish you knew more about, but you just don't because you're not that smart. But don't worry. We looked into it for you. And after every episode, you can tell your friends, actually, a little bit more.
Hi, everybody. I'm non-believer Josh. With me today is Harry Coley.
Check out that. That is correct.
You know, I know that you're saying that because of my topic, but also like that's just a fact
He's a hairy man.
about me.
Yeah.
So for a second I was like,
A hairy little boy.
why is he talking about his topic? But like I don't get.
He's been hairy since he was 9 years old.
Yeah. And then also another fact, Felon Keenan.
What?
You're felon.
Here, Felon.
Felon.
Yeah.
I've never fell on anything.
Yeah, but you fell in.
I like that.
I have fallen in, yes.
Today we will be talking about atheist versus agnostic, jail versus prison, gorillas versus chimps. At the end, we'll play the no-name trivia game with me hosting as Coley defends his championship title.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Can you guys beat me, please? Like
Gonna
I'm
try.
getting tired of it. I'm tired of being good. Can you guys fucking step up?
Okay, try. All right.
I'm really hoping I jinx myself so I don't have to be the winner anymore.
He's like, I want to ask questions.
Yeah, I want to ruin your guys' life. Have an opinion and or want to hear one of your topics debated? You can connect with us. Oh fuck. That just almost pulled my ears off.
Fault.
You can connect with us at what'sthediff.net. Leave us a voicemail or text at 802-884-3553.
Bitch.
Or send a voice clip to us at hellowhat'sthediff@gmail.com.
Ding.
Where our guarantee's still there.
It's still there until the end of the year,
Yeah, yeah.
which when this releases will be next year. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, you have until
my God.
you have until the end of 2025 to figure it out.
We are talking to you from last year.
Yeah.
We're walking through time as we speak now.
That's creepy.
Our voices are both in today and tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Always.
Transcending
But now
time.
it's one full year difference.
time
You know,
It's
and
amazing.
space.
I gotta say it's really shitty that like Australia is
Australia.
like so far ahead of us,
Yeah,
and they
what?
didn't warn us about 9/11.
But don't
That's not. That doesn't work. That's not how it works.
Are you sure?
Yep.
We're not just sure. We're HIV positive.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Well, what's the start?
Josh is bringing some interesting heat.
heavy heat right off.
Right in Australia, we're about 9/11. Here's a South Park clip. Fucking yeah. Oh my God.
I remember 9/11.
I remember when
So anyway,
everybody was
with
quiet.
recent people talking about P. Diddy,
P.
P. Diddy,
Waking up
and
in the morning.
Luigi and Mario all going to jail and everything. I was thinking,
Luigi Macaroni.
everybody's going to jail these days, or are they? Are
It's
they
a
going to
fad.
prison? Do you know? Who knows really?
I do.
Monopoly. Is it go to prison or go to jail?
Go to jail.
Yeah, but is it?
But
Yes.
is it? Should it be prison?
Can
No.
it be prison?
It's prison? Like
Well, let's find out.
Why, Coley? Huh?
I know everything. Kay.
All right. What's a jail? What's a jail?
What is a jail?
What's a place where you go when you do bad things?
Like shit your pants.
Yeah, or cheat on a test.
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck.
Depends
Maybe.
on the test.
Depends on the test for sure.
Damn.
You could probably maybe. I don't know.
Damn.
I'm sure there's a way that you could.
They found a
Shit.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
He's like, I'm going to jail. Fuck.
Fuck.
Actually, you might go to prison for that.
Let's find out.
So a lot of jails are for detention of individuals who are awaiting trial. So it's kind of like a pre-trial thing. Hey, you did something bad. Go to jail.
Here's your free trial.
So nobody's ever going to be sent to prison. They get sent to jail immediately. That's where you get held.
Straight to jail.
Go
Jail is first.
Go to jail. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, some people might never even go to prison. They just go to jail for minor offenses like cheating on a test.
What? I was joking.
Misdemeanors, things that are usually less than a year, you're going to go to jail. You're not going to go to prison if you have a misdemeanor. If someone is basically needs like rehab or reform in any way, counseling, education, you can get vocational training in jail too. So if someone is just like not doing very well and they make mistakes that are misdemeanors, they'll get sent to jail.
Like theft or something.
Yeah. Depending on the level, obviously.
Theft under 1,000, I think.
And then jails also obviously like take away people from society for a little bit, give them a slap on the wrist and say like, you are a nuisance to the public and you're annoying.
Drunks,
and
public intoxicators.
Yeah.
Us soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe.
It'll happen.
So a lot of times jails can be overcrowded too though, because it's just like holding cells, like throw you in a holding cell overnight. So if you got a DUI, you'd go to a holding cell, you know.
They throw you in the drunk tank usually.
Yeah, same shit.
The drunk tank is disgusting.
A drunk holding cell.
Is it anything like the dunk tank?
Yeah. It's a bunch of like security guards throwing apples at a sign.
Yeah. It's fun unless you get nauseous, and it's not really fun anymore.
Sinks you right in.
Yeah. Sobers you up real quick.
Yeah.
Splash.
Yeah. So that's kind of what jail is. It's basically like the first step. If you did something bad, if you didn't do something bad enough to make it more than a year, or it's just a misdemeanor, you go to jail. But if you did something worse than that, you go into prison.
Book 'em, Dano.
Prison.
Pricing.
So these guys are basically people in prison have done something pretty bad. They need their freedom restricted. They need to be held in a box for a while. Either they have done things that obviously like have violated public safety, or they're crazy drug addicts, or have push drugs, or kill people, or
like murder.
Horrible things. Yes, like that.
Like murder.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not gonna. It depends on the prison too. There's so many different types. I'll get into that. But yeah, let's see actually here. So basically, like between jail, I'll just talk about the two differences because it's pretty simple. Jail is basically used for short-term confinement, less than a year. Prison's long-term incarceration, serious crimes, and it's always a year or more, i.e., a felony.
So if you're like 364 days, they'd be like, "All right, sorry, jail."
Yeah, they would. And then on top of that, jails are also usually managed by local governments, like cities or counties, county jail, city jail.
County.
And the sheriff or the like local police will look over it. Whereas prison is state or federal. So it's big papa time.
big deal.
Jail includes a mix of people, obviously, like people that are either awaiting trial or awaiting bail. So right now, P. Diddy's actually in jail. He's not in prison, obviously, because he's awaiting his trial. And he's denied bail. So
he's fucked.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Was before, was now.
So he could be like a really bad offender and done something horrible, but just be in jail for a little bit until Buttabunk trial.
Huh.
Yeah.
Buttabunk trial.
Buttabunk.
And then prison, usually people have already been convicted or sentenced, and they're grouped in different levels, which I'll get into, by the crime they committed. So it's going to be like minimum, medium, maximum security, super max.
So what is a correctional facility? Is that prison?
Yeah.
That's prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, these guys have, both these things have like programs and services and stuff. So jail usually doesn't really have much programs. They have a little bit of rehab programs. They have basic medical care and temporary holding services, but it's not going to be like prison because obviously it's longer term. So in prison, you have like education programs, vocational training, therapy, rehab programs. Like it's a very extensive thing because these people are on a bad path. And then jail is also like they're supposed to be like a little less comfortable, like more holding cells, basic facilities because it's shorter stays. And then prisons obviously have like individual holding cells. They're huge and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, what are the levels of prisons that there are? So basically minimum security prisons are kind of what you're thinking of, like correctional facilities, non-violent offenders, or people that are nearing the end of their sentence who have been good boys and good girls. Dormitory style housing. You get like limited fences, limited security. It's mostly just like you can move around wherever you need to, play basketball, lift weights, whatever.
But you're still confined to
there's a
housing area.
Yeah. And there's programs for work release, education, community service. So that's usually used for like people who are white collar criminals, first time offenders, or people that are on good behavior. And then level 2 is low security prisons. Fence perimeters. It can be dormitory or cubicle housing with like a few people shared. pretty structured schedules and programs. It's basically non-violent offenders who have a longer sentence, could be like robbery or theft. Medium security prisons are cell-based housing, so you have like 2 people in a cell usually. It's double fenced. There's electronic monitoring cameras. Sometimes they have like guards on top of towers and stuff. You get pretty limited movement. Very strict schedule. There are still rehab programs and work and education. This can be people that are like a moderate risk or have history of violence if it's not like too violent. And then you have maximum security prisons, very violent offenders that have a high escape risk. Single cell housing, so it's just you in a little area. Super high walls, barbed wire fences, extensive. This is like what you'd see on like Prison Break and shit.
Yeah.
Strict control, like you can't really walk around, do your thing. You get time blocks for certain things. Me too.
There's
mucus in this room.
Look what I started.
Jesus.
It's like when I was yawning the other day.
Oh
Well,
my
that's
God.
contagious.
So it was mucus.
That was
Yeah,
insane.
But maximum security prisons, that you're going to be like severe crimes, murder, armed robbery, shit like that. Super max prisons, the highest level, level 5.
Level 5.
Basically the most dangerous, high-profile inmates. You get 23-hour daily confinement in solitary cells. Every single person. You get
Jesus.
very little to no contact with any other inmates. You shower by yourself, you eat by yourself, everything like that. Extremely high-tech surveillance, security measures. This is for like terrorists, serial killers, anybody who's like a serious threat to the public or national security, things like that.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
So a specialized prison with like a correction facility or juvenile facilities are obviously for 18 or under. Correctional facilities for people who need to like basically go through a program to get fixed up. There's mental health prisons for people who just have bad mental health problems. Military prisons for people who specifically committed crimes under military law. And then immigration detention centers, obviously waiting deportation and stuff like that. Yeah, so jail is just like a lot less intense. It can suck, obviously, and you can be in jail for up to a year, but it's not the same.
Almost.
Yeah, exactly. 1 day short. Yeah, so P. Diddy right now is in jail. However, apparently it's a really nice jail.
Which,
in
I mean,
the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
probably makes sense.
But it's been that people have been like in that jail that are like super high profile before. So it's pretrial detention center and short-term confinement. So they do have solitary confinement in the jail if you've been bad enough. And he kind of has been because he is on sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
Throw that motherfucker into Gen Pop.
And he's been denied bail. So obviously, yeah, he's still detained there. And when he does go through something, he'll definitely be going to prison once he goes through trial. Apparently over Christmas break or the last few days, he had a prison meltdown.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Baby need his oil.
Somebody give him an oil and blankie.
So technically he's actually not in prison. He's in jail right now, but he will be. Don't worry.
I wonder what the meltdown was.
Probably he's in fucking prison during Christmas. Dumbass. But this
I
is when I'm
can't
usually
slip around in here.
Yeah, this is where my baby oil time comes. Ah,
I can't see my hose.
my big white couch is probably dirty. The longest someone has been in prison was Paul Giadil, 68 years and 245 days, from 1911 to 1980.
Jesus.
He was convicted of second-degree murder at 17, and he was paroled at 86. So his entire life was just in jail.
Wow.
That is wild.
What would you
Yeah.
do? I'd be like, can I just like punch somebody so I don't leave? Because I don't want to go out there. Like,
Yeah, at that
everything's
point, like-
different.
Yeah, I don't. And you're 86.
yeah,
yeah.
you're
What?
86. Like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna die.
His whole life was prison.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 68 years.
Well,
This guy
don't
in
kill anybody.
Australia, 70 years from 1903 to 1974. He just murdered somebody, spent his entire sentence in prison until he died.
Jeez.
Francis Clifford Smith, over 71 years in prison. Robbery in 1949.
Robbery?
I know. He remains one of the largest or longest serving inmates. But
He's still
he's
in prison.
yeah, but he's probably in hospice care, they think.
Oh,
So basically, like if you're in prison that long, it's a life sentence. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's not getting out.
And those records don't include detention, like jail.
Mm.
Damn.
So that, I mean, like if you add, like, say they're there for another year, like it adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I got. Apparently, yeah. There's different levels too. There's nice ones too. There's like nice prisons that people actually like a level 2 one for instance. There's like different levels of they get different funding, and so basically it's up to like whoever runs the prison to try to get funding for the prison, and they have to like do well with people. So the better behaved prisons, the ones that have better success rates at getting people through training, getting back in the workforce, and like less escapes and all that stuff, get more funding, and the nicer they are, the nicer they become. Or the more money they get, the nicer they become. And so, yeah, there's some like nice prisons. So it's like you hope you get sent to one of those because they have like nice like libraries and like gyms and movie theaters and things. You know?
Isn't that what we did with like No Child Left Behind, where we gave all the schools that did really well a lot of money, and all the schools that didn't do well in the testing no money?
Yep. Yeah, and then that's the problem with the
It worked out.
prison industrial complex in the United States.
It definitely did.
It's monopolized, and it's it's crazy. But
Yeah. Did you read anything on like for-profit versus not-for-profit prisons?
no, but I mean it's probably pretty common knowledge. Like you think like for profits are probably pretty bad.
Yeah, a little sleazy.
Yeah, a little sleazy. But I mean
Sure.
they probably are nice too though.
Yeah, definitely depends on the one.
Exactly.
Norway or Poland or somewhere around there is like the nicest jail in the world. Like it's nicer than a hotel here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so cool.
That's so
I
cool.
wanna go to
I want to
jail.
go.
I do gotta to say this story. We had a buddy whose dad went to prison.
That's fun.
Yeah, he was stealing money from old people from like investing and stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
And when my buddy, he calls me while I'm in college to like give me the news, and he's like, Josh, I think you probably heard my dad's going somewhere. I was like, no, I haven't. Where's he going? And his dad used to go on vacation like all the time. And so he's like, he's going to Prison. I was like, Prison? Is that like in California? He's like, no, Prison. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like Prison. Like, can you what state? He's like, prison, Josh. He's going to prison. I was like, oh,
Bryson, Alabama?
yeah. I was like,
Yes.
oh, he's just going on vacation again. Is
Oh
it
my
nice?
God. Prison, Josh.
I'm pretty sure that was like a level 2 because he could walk around, like go to the library and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think he got like his master's or something while he was there.
Yeah.
Like, and also a certificate for like dog training. Like
Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, that's also kind of the thing is like we want people to be able to rehabilitate and come back into society and be better. That's the end goal.
Except for the lifers,
Except for the lifers.
which
Yeah.
I have feelings about that.
Why am I? I know what you're gonna say. Oh man, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Why waste the resources?
yeah.
Move
the
to Japan
Supermax-
or Texas, bud.
Those Supermaxes probably have like giant people. They're like super strong, right?
Because it's Supermax? Like they hold superheroes?
Oh, I mean superheroes or I don't know, people that just have like, I don't know, maybe opposable thumbs and a lot of grip strength. Maybe a tail.
Oh my god.
Neither of these things have tails.
Damn it.
They have nubs.
That's why I said maybe.
Maybe a tail.
No. Okay, so you're talking
Jesus.
gorillas or chimpanzees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw him in jail.
Well, I wouldn't
Straight to jail.
because they can both get crazy violent.
Get
But let's talk
crazy.
about
Supermax jail.
Get wild.
Put him in a Supermax.
it's called a zoo.
Yeah, true.
So, let's start with gorillas. All right, let's head off with some gorillas. I'm going to lower the microphone so I can see my phone, which all my notes are on. Gorillas, they are the largest great apes and our closest living relatives after the chimpanzee, which I will also be talking about, and the bonobo, which I will not be talking about.
Ooh, Bono.
The bonobo.
Bonobo.
Oh, I was thinking of Bono.
They have orgies.
Oh?
Bonobos they fuck for fun.
Okay, so like Bono.
Probably.
I mean, they fuck for fun. Is that not what do you mean?
Like most wildlife has sex for reproductive
Oh, so they're like
purposes.
humans.
Yeah, they like fuck each other in giant groups for fun. They're really
Like
interesting.
humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have their own sex clubs. Gorillas are herbivorous and live in the tropical forests of equatorial Africa. They're Yes.
You should do your animal corner in like a Attenborough voice. The whole thing.
They are divided into two species, the African and Western gorilla, with various subspecies. Gorillas are large, stocky, and muscular, with broad shoulders and broad chests. They can be gentle giants at times and have been known to show human-like emotions and behaviors. I am 1,000 years old.
You sound like Attenborough just like is having a hard time.
Yeah. Well, he's like 1,000 years
Well,
old.
he
He's
sounds
fucking
better than
so
that
old.
still.
Yeah.
Oh, fine. We share about 98% of... I'm me, Attenborough, now. We share about 98% of our DNA with gorillas and chimps.
Which parts?
Yep.
All right.
I'll tell you which part I share mine with.
Which means they are susceptible to human diseases.
I hope not.
I don't know. Are they big? I don't know.
I'm glossing over
They're
that.
tiny. They're small.
They
are.
Small.
They're
I
pretty small.
Would have guessed they're not.
They're pretty small.
They're
Really?
really, yeah.
They're pretty small.
I think average is like 3 inches for
What?
Yeah,
gorilla.
well, because like they don't want to wear pants, so like they don't want a big one
I
knocking
don't
around
think
all the
God
time.
said these men will have pants one day. Here's a well endowed peepee.
Back in the day, having a smaller peepee was like way more intriguing.
Yeah.
and like it meant you were more virile and shit.
intriguing.
Yeah. Oh wow, very small, aren't you? Mhm.
I would make a sculpture of you.
Wow,
Your
you must
biceps
be-
are large and your penis is half the size of your,
Yeah.
of your finger.
You must be
I
an
think it was-
intellectual with that penis.
It was like
Yeah.
Hercules or somebody had a really big dick, and everybody made fun of him for it, or something like that. Yeah. Anyway,
They don't tell you that in the Disney movie.
they don't.
Last 2 episodes, I've learned that Willem Dafoe and Hercules have had large penises.
So yeah, there you go. Who are we gonna come up with next episode?
Next time on Dragon
Buzz
Ball
Lightyear.
Cock.
Dragon Ball cock.
Apparently, Buzz Lightyear is just a huge cock.
Buzz Lightyear.
Dude, I heard some shit.
Buzz Lightyear's got a huge cock.
Yeah, you would think it'd be Woody, but
No, he's got a small cock.
no.
Yeah,
tiny.
it's all in the name, dude.
Yeah.
She's fronting.
Women love him though because he's good with his hands.
Yeah.
So it's like shut up.
You don't talk about my childhood like that.
We share around 98% of our DNA with gorillas, which means they are susceptible to human diseases.
And 96 with a banana, which means they're susceptible to human diseases.
probably if they had a
Just 2% less.
Yeah, if they had I want to say reproductive system, but respiratory system, that's the one. Then probably. This is bad because the gorilla's immune systems aren't like developed to handle our diseases, obviously, because they're not fucking humans. So something as simple as a common cold could wipe out like a huge gorilla population. So like if people go out and study gorillas or watch them and like do security so people don't kill them and shit, those people will have to be like screened heavily health wise. Otherwise, if they go out there, it's like you have any kind of disease at all, they're like, you can't go. Yeah. You want more bad news?
Yeah.
Sure.
Bad news, gorillas.
There are roughly
So we are.
like 1,000 to I think to 3,000 is the new number. 1,000 to 3,000 gorillas in the wild.
That's a small number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
it's very
numbers
small. That's
these numbers
so
fluctuate
small.
because they're but they're endangered. So another reason that people don't want like gorilla tours is a thing. People go out and they're like, "Oh, I want to see a gorilla."
Wow.
No,
Let
you
'em
don't
be.
get to do that. Just fucking don't go out there. Leave them alone. An average silverback gorilla can weigh up to 180 kilos and measure 170 centimeters.
That's
which is-
14 stones for our listeners.
That's almost 30 stone, actually.
I made it. Yeah.
Stone is a unit of measurement.
I know. That's why I said it.
Oh,
I just didn't know the number.
No, it's like almost 30 stone.
Wait, that's a thing? I just said some random word and it
I thought you were meaning like if you stack 40 stones high, it will be a gorilla.
No.
No.
I'm trying to do the math on 360. It's like almost 400 in freedom units.
Sure.
Hey, how many kilos?
180.
180.
It's like a little more than 2. So it's like,
They big.
it's like 2.3.
360 plus 36 is
And they're about
396.
5'5" on all fours. In contrast, female gorillas weigh about 90 kilos and measure up to 4'9".
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like half the size, and then also they're almost our height just on all fours.
Yeah, that's not like standing up. They're huge.
Yeah,
But on all fours, how they usually walk, they're our height.
just
This is a big gorilla. Gorillas spend about a quarter of their day eating, mainly plants, but around 85% of their diet is made up of leaves, shoots, and stems. But gorillas can also eat larvae, snails, ants, even roots, bark, and rotting wood, which is a good source of sodium and salt.
Maybe I'll start eating
sodium
rotting wood.
/ salt. What did you say?
I was just saying I'm probably going to start eating rotting wood.
Yeah, you probably
it-
should.
It sounds pretty good now that you like mentioned
Especially the
salt.
kind with
If we
larvae.
ever
in
run
it.
out of salt, just put some wood scraps on your
/ sodium.
food. Yep. There you go. I didn't hear what you said.
I just said / sodium.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Like, I agree with you. Then I was like, why did I do that? I didn't hear a word he said. Contrary to popular belief, gorillas don't eat bananas. Like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong don't eat bananas.
I mean, he does, but
he does. Well, because he's a Donkey Kong, which isn't a
Diddy
gorilla.
Kong likes bananas, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Diddy Kong likes baby oil.
Yeah.
God, that's a funky family.
That is a funky family. They eat the roots and shoots of the banana plant.
Root shoots and
Roots and shoots. At night, some gorillas and groups sleep together and nests on the ground. How do people have that accent?
They
Like,
nest?
yeah, they just like sleep together like a big cuddle
Oh,
puddle.
like a gorilla nest.
Yeah, but they call it a nest because they put like the little ones on the inside, and so they're like you're.
They make the
protected.
little ones sleep on the outside.
Please, cold mother. Too bad.
You're to stay outside of the circle.
Yeah. So, yeah, they make like sometimes they're up in the trees, sometimes they're on the ground, and they just make like big fluffy foliage nests.
Sometimes they're underground.
Yeah, sometimes they're
In the water.
they're in the air.
In an airplane.
They fly.
Be anywhere.
Infants will share the mother's nests, staying safe and warm by sticking to the middle.
They don't make their own? That's so lame.
I know, put them to work. Jesus Christ. Gorillas have many different calls: short barks, deep growls, hoots, and loud, deafening roars. It's a gorilla. Shut up! It's like that's a small.
What's
gorilla.
a deep, deafening gorilla roar?
I
Like an airplane engine? Or is it like a...
yeah, like when they stand up and they're like ah, bah, ah, bah. Male silverback
probably
gorillas
pretty good.
inflate sacks on their chest and rapidly beat them to intimidate others.
That would do it.
Yeah,
That would
So
intimidate me.
That's something I didn't know that they like. You know, they usually just like, oh, beat your chest, blah blah blah. They actually have
Yeah.
sacks
Mm-hmm.
that they sort of
Thanks for the
inflate, and it goes like.
visualization. Yeah.
It's a weird noise.
It's to like protect them as they like hit harder.
It's to make
or
it
something?
loud.
It just makes it it's protection and makes a louder noise.
Scary
It's
sounding.
intimidating.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
And the bigger, or I guess like the bigger the sack, like the deeper the tone is, so it is more intimidating. Gorillas live in groups about 10 individuals per family. What if I just did the entire podcast?
That
like
wouldn't
this?
be... I'd leave.
I'd end it right here.
So they live in groups of about 10 individuals per family. There's one dominant male and several females. They all care for the infants by playing, carrying, and fuck's sakes. Clip this. They all care for infants by playing, carrying, and generally caring for the children.
Playing, carrying, and generally caring.
Yes. It was it made more sense when I was.
We were writing raps here, so...
I know. I'm busting it down. Most males and about 60% females leave their family group once they are old enough. This prevents inbreeding. So gorillas live to roughly...
Smalt. That's pretty small.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
They live to roughly about 40 in the wild. They're classified as infants until around 3 years of age. And then once they hit around 8, they're classified as adults. Males aged 8 to 12, excuse me, choked on my spit, are called blackbacks. Then once they start to get silver hairs on their back and hips, they are now named silverbacks. So it's like 8 to 12-ish, like I said.
I got some gray hair coming in on my hips.
You're an adult.
Yes.
Yeah. Truly adult.
Gorillas are under threat, the main threat being deforestation. This results in less and less area for gorillas to live and eat and survive. Gorillas then venture onto farms and eat crops. And so this is like farmers, want to deter them from coming out there. So a bad farmer will kill a gorilla because he's eating all his food.
Don't kill the gorilla.
Don't do that.
Just tranquilize it and take it to Manhattan.
Yeah. Put
Where
it in a
can
cage.
rule the world from atop the tower.
And hit tiny little planes.
Yeah.
And hold on to a lady.
Hunters will put snares up for meat, which is like not gorilla meat, but just like they're trying to get food. And gorillas can get trapped in the snares themselves, resulting in wounds and then also sometimes death. Don't fuck with gorillas. Please respect these great beasts and let them be. They don't deserve humans bugging them when they've already lost so much. Please don't do it.
Don't do it.
Chimpanzees. What is a chimpanzee? Chimps, like gorillas, are our closest living relatives. They are known for their intelligence and ability to use tools. They live in Central and Western Africa.
What kind of tools? Drill, impact driver, torque wrench.
Machinery, like machining objects. They have a lathe, I think.
Yeah.
You ever seen a crane? One of those.
Like one of those big building ones.
Yeah. You just see a chimp just,
Yeah, he's good at his job.
yeah.
Buildings are built, so
Yeah.
shit, that's impressive.
Hmm.
Like, damn, you got a good worker up there. And he's like, anyway.
What do you think a deaf chimp sounds like?
I don't want to get ruined.
I think the sound would come naturally.
It's just really quiet. He thinks he's making noise, but he's not.
That's how they do it anyway, though. They're like
But
I love the movies, the Planet of the Apes movies. So fun.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Because the mean ones are like,
impressive.
or the ones that are like trying to speak but like don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah.
and then the main ones
They
like,
just They just
Yeah.
get really pissed off. Chimps have impressive and complex social structures. As stated, they use tools to help them in their daily lives, to aid in fishing, cracking open nuts, using leaves to drink water,
They can
and
fish?
the like. Yeah, they can fish.
with a pole.
Well, not like a pole
With
and
their
string
hands?
and a hook. They like use it as a spear.
They spear shit. They
Yeah.
throw spears.
They
No,
spearfish.
they just like take a stick and then you just like in the water and get a
That's
fish.
so impressive.
Yeah. They eat a variety of foods like fruits, nuts, leaves, insects, and occasionally meat and eggs.
So gorillas don't really eat meat. That's kind of
No.
interesting because they're large creatures. You'd think they perhaps would divulge meat.
No, they eat banana trees.
I love
The trees themselves. Like us, chimps are highly social animals.
Cool whip. They eat cool whip bread.
They care for their offspring for years and can live to be over 50. In fact, chimpanzees are our closest cousins, and like the gorillas, share about 98% of our genes. Our two species come from a single ancestor that they think was like 6 to 7 million years ago. It kind of split off, which I'm like, were you there?
You think?
You think? Fucking, you should figure it out. What are you, a scientist?
Well, I think I'm 6'4". Okay.
Well, what are you, 6 or 7 million years old?
6, 7. A million years is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,
Okay.
2.
3,
Three.
4.
It'll
5,
take
6,
you
7.
11 days to count to a million.
Mr. Beast did it. That's how he got famous.
I don't fucking care what Mr. Beast does.
That's just why we were talking about it earlier.
Oh, okay. I just have I do not care what he does.
Oh. I didn't care if you cared. I was just saying
It's
something.
hot take.
Yeah, we were just saying a random
I was
I
just
don't
saying
care
it.
about him.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck. All right.
Oh, yeah.
don't give a shit.
In their
You think I
habitat.
care about your fun fact? It's an angry fact now.
Concerning Mr. Beast, I don't care. In their habitat.
Mr. Angry.
Fuck you. I'd love to finish this. I'm waiting. Somebody's going to interrupt me. I just know it. In their habitat in the forests of Central Africa, chimpanzees spend most of their days in the treetops. When they do come down to Earth, is a weird way to put that, but I thought it was kind of funny when writing it. I was like,
When they
why-
do descend from the heavens
Once they come back down.
to spend a day among us mortals.
They survive in UFOs mostly. They travel on all fours, though they can walk on their legs like humans for like a mile, which is that's fucking
For
weird.
as long as I
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, same. Hit a mile and then I just crawl home.
Yep. All right, time to go on all
damn
fours.
it. And you just butt scoot the whole way. Pass somebody on the trail and they're like, yeah, have a nice day. Just scooting.
How you doing?
Fuck?
Oh, I used up my mile.
Oh, that's 1 mile. Sir, this trail's 12 miles long. Oh, got a lot of scooting to do then.
He's walking his dog and it's scooting too.
It's scooting. He's just like, it pulls him along. Chimpanzees live in about 21 different African countries, though most live in rainforest areas because they need access to food and water. Chimpanzees have the ability to...
We're in the Sahara. Is that a chimp?
What the hell? There's no water out
We're in
here.
Africa.
Okay, if you find a chimpanzee out in the Sahara or like a group of them, follow them because they're probably going to have water.
Well, I have water. I'm fine.
Not now. Not in my headcanon.
Mm.
You're screwed.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my hand
I'm
cannon,
fine.
you're black and Chinese.
I'm fine. What?
What?
Do you guys not know that meme?
No. What the fuck?
Like,
What?
Oh
In
my-
my head canon, you're black and Chinese. The fuck does that mean?
there's a person on Twitter when someone would like post a selfie or something that he would literally comment, I like photoshopped you to be black and Chinese, and he would Photoshop them to be black and Chinese, and he would
Black
just,
and Chinese.
yeah,
Blasian. But
just black and Chinese,
Blasian. Yeah.
black and Chinese.
Check.
That's it?
Yeah,
You
that's
just-
basically it.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean, like he kept doing it to people, and people were like, stop it, and then he'd be like, I found another picture of you, it made you black and Chinese.
That's funny as hell,
Yeah.
actually. Stop, you're ruining my pictures. Like, here's another one of you being black and Chinese.
yeah.
This one I gave you a little more black and a little less Chinese.
Kind
I
of
hope you like it.
tweak the levels a little bit.
If you know what I mean.
Chimpanzees have the ability to learn human languages such as sign language. In captivity, chimpanzees have been able to pick up American Sign Language to communicate with caretakers.
Damn.
A chimp named Washu was known to be the first non-human to learn to communicate via ASL and was able to do more than 350 different signs.
Oh wow.
Washu also managed to pass on some of her signs to her adopted son later on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not even her kid. It's just she's taught him to do signs. It's fucking crazy. Chimps are omnivorous. They're happy to eat most foods, but they tend to eat more fruit than any other food. God damn. Food. A chimp's diet consists of everything from seeds, leaves, insects, honey, roots. Though they have been recorded to hunt other wildlife like monkeys or small antelope for meat. For chimpanzees, feeding is mostly an individual activity, but is known to work in a team occasionally.
I want to see a team of chimps take down a fucking gazelle.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal.
You've seen, I'm not. I want
It's-
to. I've never seen that.
It's
Damn,
brutal.
that'd be crazy.
They don't. They have spears and such for fishing, right? They just catch things.
They got get like a fucking revolver.
I got them now.
Just a group of them with revolvers running around.
No, they
Pulls a pin on a grenade.
no, they have they beat them to death like with their fists.
Jesus Christ! I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. What else? Yeah.
They like bludgeon them into a pulp and then just eat them. It's fucking wild. And I have a little blurb about this later on, but we'll just talk about it now.
I love blurbs.
Blurb me.
Chimpanzees are known to like attack rival gangs of chimpanzees. So if like there's one colony and
My
then
head
another,
cannon is just like they like the blue and red bandanas on. They're all rolling up.
God.
grenade again.
One of the fucking chimps throws a suitcase full of money,
Got your money? I got the drugs.
diamonds.
Diamonds. Yeah. That's where blood diamonds come from.
Yeah.
No, they'll
So funny.
So if somebody, if another chimp is like scouting from their, or out hunting or doing whatever, and it comes across another chimp village, those chimps will like beat it to death. Like they'll just fucking 12 of them are like just mash it into a pulp. Chimps are fucking scary. I don't like people that have chimps.
Badass.
Yeah, they're really strong. Female chimpanzees only give birth once every 5 years. Most pregnancies typically carry only one child. Infant chimps will cling onto its mother's fur and ride on her back until ages 3 to 5, resulting in a close familial bond even after reaching maturity. Chimps can live up to their 80s, which is fucking crazy. It's the oldest recorded chimp was her name was Lil Mama. Yeah. A captive female who was estimated to be between 76 to 82. Nice. The whisper song. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
It's about her.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry.
Cool. Do you want some? I got leaves and insects.
I
Banana.
want to talk about wet
shoots.
bark.
Yeah. Got me salivating.
All the wet bark talk.
So she was 76 to 82, and she died in 2017. Though the average life expectancy for captive chimps are only around 38.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So definitely better in the wild.
I feel like usually it's the opposite, right? Usually when we captive something,
Yeah.
it's
Like
yeah.
foxes, I think, usually lived like 17 in the wild, and then it's like 34
Yeah.
in
Probably
captivity.
because they're smart and they have mental
Domesticated
stress
foxes.
of being in prison.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee lifespan in the wild is a bit more difficult to record, but one researcher has found that chimps living at Ngogo in Uganda's Kibale National Park have an average life expectancy of 33 years. So that's like their basis that they're going off. But some clearly have lived to be in their 80s. So we're like,
Clearly.
we don't fucking know. Chimps get around a lot by climbing and swinging from tree to tree, not unlike gorillas. Chimpanzees, oh, sorry, that was a period. Not unlike gorillas, chimpanzees usually walk on all fours, otherwise known as knuckle walking, but have been recorded to walk on 2 feet on the rare occasion. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature has declared chimpanzees are an endangered species due to increasing human activities such as logging, mining, oil extraction, highway projects. The natural habitats of chimpanzees.
Don't buy things with palm oil in them.
Yeah, don't. You're killing monkeys. Natural habitats of chimps have been significantly degraded and impacted. Just as with the gorillas, like I said, leave them alone. Leave chimps alone. Not only are they endangered, but they're incredibly violent. And there's like videos of people getting their fucking scalp ripped off or like limbs broken. And
Help!
yeah.
There's a chimp on me. I'm gonna record this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like somebody falls into a zoo enclosure and the chimpanzee is just like kill them because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, they're in prison rules then.
Yeah. Yeah. And prison rules. You pee sitting down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's a true fact.
Fuck yeah.
I watched the thing. This guy was like, "Yeah, I was in prison." I was like, "What's your one rule for prison?" He's like, "You piss sitting down." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "'Cause I have to live in here, man. Ain't nobody piss in my house." And he's like, "Yeah, that makes sense." He's like, "I don't want no splashes." I'm like, okay. That was a fun interview. So that's it. Don't fuck with chimps because they'll pummel you to death. Don't fuck with gorillas because they'll probably get the sniffles. And yeah, fucking stay away from both of them, please, and thank you.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Unless they're like, you come across a baby and it's got a little broken leg and the mom's dead, and you're like, oh, I have to save this thing, and so take it then to the proper authorities or rehabilitation.
But what if you give it the sniffles?
Well, don't get the sniffles yourself.
This is my gorilla. I named him Sniffles.
Yeah. So there you go. I fucks with gorillas.
I
are
would not
cool.
fuck with a gorilla.
Well, I don't like fuck with a gorilla, but
You just fucks with him.
I fucks
Fucks
with. 'em.
with.
Fucks with.
I fucks with them. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucks with him,
Yeah. That's a perfect transition.
Yeah. Do you boys fucks with 'em atheist versus agnostic? If you feel comfortable, do either of you align with atheism or agnosticism?
Atheism.
more so atheism.
All right.
There is no God. You get that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's fucking stupid.
Well, let's say more, but not from your mouth, my mouth. The gist.
There we go.
Atheists do not believe in a God, while agnostics do not believe it is possible to know if a God exists.
Or gods.
Gods.
For all our Hindu
God or
listeners.
gods. Atheism. A lack of belief in a god or gods. The word atheist comes from the Greek atheos, which is a combination of a, without, and theos, a god. Agnosticism. I am going to have a really hard time saying that. the belief that it is not possible to know if a God exists, and therefore neither believing nor disbelieving in a God. The word agnostic comes from the Greek agnostos, which means unknown or unknowable.
Cool.
So wishy-washy.
Yeah, you could say that. So let's go to the less wish and the more wash, atheism. So there's a lot of different ways to define I was about to say racism.
So speaking of racism,
Wrong podcast.
Atheism. There's a lot of ways to define it.
Are you a racist or an agnostic? Oh, I thought, didn't we go, wasn't there something else before?
I'm an atheist. That's not one of the questions.
That's not what I asked. Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of atheism, and they have like this debate about how exactly to describe it. So, an example is there's implicit versus explicit atheism. So, implicit is the absence of a theistic belief without a conscious rejection of it. Explicit is the conscious rejection of belief. So, babies and people who are unaware of theism are implicitly atheist because they don't know about
They don't know any better.
They don't know any better. While those who are aware of theism and not a baby are explicit.
So I would be an explicit atheist.
Yeah. Are you not a baby?
I haven't checked, actually.
Okay, then probably explicit.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they actually, like some of the debates would have happened. The ancient Romans believed that Christians were atheists, as Christians didn't worship the pagan deities.
That makes sense.
Oh, how the tides have turned.
Yeah. There's other ways to kind of even go deeper on that. There's positive versus negative atheism. So positive atheism is the explicit affirmation that gods do not exist, while negative includes all other forms of non-theism. So that includes like agnosticism. Yeah.
Agnostic.
Agnostic.
Lipstickism. Exact.
People have lipstick, others don't.
So
That's what I gathered from this.
Coley, from what you said before, it
Yeah.
sounds like you're an explicit positive atheist.
There ain't no
Yep.
God,
There's
and
no
I'm
God.
aware of it.
I'm
making that decision.
It's not because I'm like it's stupid and there's no proof, but like that's a silly thing to believe in. And look at all the religion in the past histories, like it's fucking killed everybody. Every major war has been religion based. So like,
And
why-
you're referring to like more so to like the Judo-Christian gods?
yes, yeah, and that kind of stuff. But so
But I mean, like, yeah.
like why would anybody believe in that if that shit just causes war?
Because they're scaled.
Yeah, it's a very good
Be
question.
afraid of war. You're afraid of each other.
Of death. They're
Fucking
scared of
idiots.
death.
Yeah, we'll talk about different arguments for atheism in a bit.
Okay. I'll settle down.
Atheists' criticism of agnosticism says that
Kill it.
the unprovability of a god's existence does not imply an equal probability of either possibility.
Yes.
There's a lot of big words.
It's a lot of big words, but basically it means just because you can't prove that there is no God, it doesn't mean that it like the inverse that there is a God.
Right.
So let's see.
Okay.
This one I read, Letter to a Christian Nation. Sam Harris wrote, "In fact, atheism is a term that should not even exist. No one ever needs to identify himself as a non-astrologer or a non-alchemist. We do not have words for people who doubt that Elvis is still alive or that aliens have traversed the galaxy only to molest ranchers and their cattle. Atheism is nothing more than the noises reasonable people make in the presence of unjustified religious beliefs." So my question is, do you guys think Elvis is still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him in Vegas when I went there.
According to I think the first Men in Black, he just went home.
Didn't we all?
Yep.
So the different arguments for atheism.
I just want to say real quick, I like that kind of style of argument where it's just like, why do we have a name for it if we don't believe in it?
Because you have to have something to argue. You
Right,
Have to create
you
names
have
for
to-
the categories because we're humans.
You have to have you're like, I represent these people. But I always thought when I was younger and going to Catholic school, fuck me, right? They
No.
did. I thought it was weird. I was like, there's no God, and they're like, oh, well, you're an atheist then, or agnostic. And I'm like, well, that, to me, that seems like I'm part of a religion still. You know, like I'm part of a group of people who don't believe in something. I'm just like, why can't I just be me? Why can't people just be like, oh, there's no God? Okay.
Yeah, it
You have to
kind
be a
of
part
groups
of
you.
something. Yeah, like why? It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
So, different arguments against atheism. Or, sorry, for atheism. Again, more big words that I did not look up how to say, and also definitions of them. Epistemological. That's a word. So a person that came up a lot in this, David Hume. I think he was like a Scottish philosopher or something. So David Hume asserts that certainty about anything is impossible. So one can never know for sure whether or not a God exists, and that unobservable metaphysical concepts should be rejected.
Scientifically, yeah.
Yeah.
What about my auntie said she got married on one of her cheese sandwiches. That shit's real.
Well, you know, Aunt Mary just...
That boy ain't right.
Yeah. Aunt Mary was a boy. She turned out to be a boy.
Yeah, well, I can't say but G's good.
Jeez.
But Gary. But
What?
your Mary was Gary. I don't know.
Ontological. Most atheists lean towards ontological monoism, the belief that there is only one kind of fundamental substance. The philosophical materialism is a view that matter is the fundamental substance in nature. This omits the possibility of a non-material divine being.
Okay, but then that's like saying, what's the whole point of the word metaphysical if it's only the physical?
You're nailing these words, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I don't get too. Is like, why does science have the word metaphysical to explain the lack of physical if we only can see and believe in the physical?
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing.
And then
is
what's the whole
that
point of saying monoatheist? Like,
What's the point of anything, man?
I just
Yeah.
like I like what Sam Harrington, Sam Harris.
you're thinking David Hume, or do you mean Sam Harris?
Sam Harris. What he said about like, why are we making this more complicated than it needs to be?
Yeah. Which I mean,
Which is what philosophy does.
it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
you know,
trying to
we
dissect.
the point of philosophy.
You know,
Yeah.
we had the whole talk in an earlier episode. You should go back and listen to it about dark matter and stuff. Like, you know, we can't perceive it, but we have this inkling idea of that it's there.
And that's the cool thing about the modern science is that we can actually kind of get a physical idea of the metaphysical, which is just mind blowing. That's
Yeah.
like a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that kind of like the ontological monoism might be a little bit, I don't know, moving almost to a way of like out of datedness in a way.
Yeah.
Or at least it's easier to argue against it if you're using science, which I feel like most religious people might not be using that argument because mostly it's faith, it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to. I know what I know.
I've seen that cheese sandwich. I know what I saw.
Listen, honey, you got big words, but I got a book.
Which kind of brings me to the next one, which is logical arguments.
Mm.
So atheists present deductive arguments against the existence of God, which assert the incompatibility between certain traits, and this is a lot of traits that are described of specific God or gods, such as perfection, creator status, immutability, omniscience, omnipresence, omniscience. Omnipresence, omnipotent. Yeah,
Omnipotent.
You were doing so well.
omnibenevolence, transcendence, personhood, a personal being, non-physicality, justice, and mercy.
The three big ones are the omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence, though. That's like the three things to describe.
Omni-Man
Yeah.
is Jesus.
So one argument that I've heard in the past when I used to describe myself as atheist was about drafts. So I think it's Richard Dawkins, but Dawkins believed the path of the laryngeal nerve of a giraffe was proof that it wasn't designed by God, because why would this all-knowing creator make something that does something so weird? So the nerve from our brain, this laryngeal nerve, it goes from our brain and it goes to our larynx, which is just kind of right here, our voice box.
Yeah.
But in drafts, it goes from the brain to the bottom of the neck and then comes back around and then connects to the larynx.
Well, yeah, they got big necks.
Yeah, but ours doesn't do that. It doesn't go down to the bottom of the neck and comes around. It just
Yeah,
goes
'cause
straight
we're not
up
God
there.
works
we're
in
not
mysterious
giraffes.
ways.
It's because we're not giraffes.
Yeah, and so that's what Dawkins is saying, is that he believes that an all-knowing creator that is just like this grand designer, this grand engineer, wouldn't design an animal like that.
Yeah.
Evolution is funny.
Well, my favorite religious thing to look up is, I look it up, it's on my phone. It's the Epicurean paradox.
Oh, yeah.
Did you read about that a little bit?
It's something that I've seen before,
Okay.
and I think it actually showed up on Reddit recently.
Yeah, that's where I found this from. So, evil exists. Yes. Can God prevent evil? No. Then God is not all powerful. Yes, he can prevent evil. Okay. Well, does God know about all evil? No. Well, then he's not all knowing. But if he can, does God want to prevent evil? No. Well, then he's not good. God is not loving. But if he does, then why is there evil in the first place? To test us. Well, if God's all knowing, he would know what we would do if we were tested. Therefore, there's no need to test us because he already has all the answers. But what if it was to, what if Satan is real? Okay. Well, an all-powerful, all-knowing, all good God would destroy Satan, like eliminate him completely. But it's necessary for the universe to exist, having evil. Well, could God have created a universe that doesn't have this? Yeah. Okay. Well, then why didn't he? And then if they say no, then God is not all powerful. Like it all comes back to God is not all powerful, God is not all knowing, and God is not
Let's
all
see what
good.
that is a tree of logic, which is a lot what paradox is based on, like trees of logic,
Yeah.
schools of thought, circles of thought based on certain yeses and nos. People that believe in faith don't need logic, and that the argument between is God real or not is with Christians and scientists
know
or
what
whatever
I
it might
know.
be. Like, yeah, it's just never going to be
No, you're never going to
concluded in any way at all, a measurable way at all, because it's just logic versus faith. So it's like,
Or to quote another comedian, I think his name's Jim Jeffries.
oh, the fucking Australian guy.
Yeah, the Australian guy. Okay, so he's like,
It's funny.
God is all loving and all powerful. He made kittens and puppies and flowers and tornadoes and tsunamis and kids with AIDS. And it's like, well, why? Like, God works in mysterious ways. Like, that doesn't make it any fucking better. Like, God works in mysterious ways. Like, Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Another argument for atheism is the reductionary accounts of religion. So Freud, among others, argued that God and other religions were man-made to fulfill various psychological and emotional wants and needs. That they are social functions used by those in power to repress the working class.
Yep, makes sense. Look up, quick, this is the last one I'll interject with. If you're curious about atheism and, like, God is not real and all that kind of shit, look up anything religious-based by George Carlin, the comedian. It's very funny, and it makes complete sense.
You know what's the crazy thing about George Carlin? I think he like, especially in like the last decade or two, he got really popular for those like arguments and
Yeah.
stuff when it was like religion and politics. But if you listen to like some of his first specials, it was just kind of more like observational comedy
Yeah, but
that like didn't have to do with politics or anything.
I think he just got really upset.
he just got
after a
really
while.
pissed off.
He
Yeah.
started getting angry,
Yeah, he's a very angry man.
Yeah, rest his soul.
but he channeled it in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, for us, he was an alcoholic.
Funny,
Besides,
funny as hell.
Some tidbits about atheism. It's been found that atheists and secular people are less nationalistic, prejudiced, anti-Semitic, racist, dogmatic, ethnocentric, closed-minded, and authoritarian.
because people who don't believe in God are logical and smart.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing that I thought was
Not to say that you can't be smart if you're religious, but like
Mm.
generally speaking, it don't make no fucking sense.
Mm,
And if
yeah.
things don't make sense and you're smart, you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Generally.
uh,
And that's been scientifically documented.
one thing that they found in the United States, murder rates is higher, or murder rates in higher atheist population states are lower than those with less atheist populations. So the more religion you have, there's a good chance that your murder rate is going to be higher.
Jesus.
War,
Jesus Christ.
murder. It's great. Genocides.
Yeah. Does anybody see a fucking pattern here?
Yes.
There's
going to pay
been
attention to it? No.
there's
Sorry.
been kind of like signs of atheism as early as actually in early Indian religions. Among the 6 orthodox schools of Hindu philosophy, I'm going to butcher this one too. Samkhya,
Where?
Samkhya, Salma Hayek.
Yeah, Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek, the oldest philosophical school of thought, does not accept God, and the early Miyamamsa also rejected the notion of God. This was during the Vedic period, which is 1500 to 500 BCE.
Good times back then.
The biggest non-religious population is China, with over 50% of the population holding that belief as of 2010. And
Interesting.
the highest percentage of non-believers, like for the whole population, is North Korea at 71%.
Well, yeah, because they don't
They-
believe in religion. They believe in their leader.
The supreme leader.
Yikes. That place is a big
I mean,
fucking yikes.
people that are super religious in the U.S., because they don't see the physical evidence of their God, they put it into a person, i.e., a tall blonde man who says he's going to save them.
He's
And
not,
poop
The
his
same
pants.
fucking exact thing
he's not really tall, and his
in
hair's not
person
blonde.
form.
He's 6'3".
It's also not his hair.
Whatever. You know, they're
He shaved a cat.
yep.
Who
And then-
did?
But these same people just want something because they're just scared.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the
Stupid.
agnosticism.
Agnostic.
The schisms.
I got a little bit of the schism.
This kind of like it dove when I read about this, it kind of dove in really quickly about this man, Thomas Henry Huxley. And he said, the agnostic principle may be stated in various ways, but they all amount to this: that it is wrong for a man to say that he is certain of the objective truth of any proposition unless he can provide evidence which logically justifies that certainty. This is what agnosticism asserts, and in my opinion, it is all that is essential to agnosticism. They go on to quote him 4 more times about him talking about agnosticism. So I guess that wasn't all that was essential.
I learned about him in philosophy. He basically was just like, we don't know. You can't know. If you don't know one way, how can you know the other way? And then people would be like, but you can prove that God doesn't exist in a lot of ways. He's like, well, not 100%. He's like, well, yeah, I mean, you can't 100% prove anything. I mean, even science is a theory. You know what I mean? Like, it's so he was basically just like, well, you don't know. You can't know, you know?
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
So he's
yeah.
that kid on the schoolyard that's like, what happened? I don't know. Did you do this? I don't know.
which brings me to the next person I'm talking about, which is David Hume. We've already talked about David Hume a little bit,
David Hume.
but he dives in a little bit more. So David Hume contended that meaningful statements about the universe are always qualified by some degree of doubt. He asserted that the fallibility of human beings means that they cannot obtain absolute certainty except in trivial cases where a statement is true by definition. Example, all tautologies, such as all bachelors are unmarried or all triangles have 3 corners. So things that we've kind of created and defined, like that can be proved for certain.
The Earth is round.
Well, oblique spheroid.
A line can have 2 points.
I just think I don't
Non-intersecting.
align with agnosticism because it's just you're saying like basically what they're saying is like you can't be correct if you don't know. But what atheism is saying is I don't believe. And what God is, or Christians or whatever are saying is I do believe. So it's not about being correct. It's about believing. So you can 100% be atheist. That 100% exists. So that's why I don't like the whole idea of agnosticism because they're saying you don't know. And that's the whole fucking point. I'm saying I don't believe I know.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, I think it's just wishy-washy. It just makes me think of like people that are like, oh, why can't we all have peace? But they're just so out of tune with what's going on.
So
That's what my
that's
vibe
a
is.
really good transition to my next point, which is strong versus weak.
Yeah.
So this also has in itself actually 3 types of different agnosticism. Strong, the view that the question of the existence or non-existence of a deity or deities and the nature of ultimate reality is unknowable by reason of our natural inability to verify any experience with anything but another subjective experience. You would say the sentence, I cannot know whether a deity exists or not, and neither can you.
Mm.
So this also has in itself actually 3 types of different agnosticism. Strong, the view that the question of the existence or non-existence of a deity or deities and the nature of ultimate reality is unknowable by reason of our natural inability to verify any experience with anything but another subjective experience. You would say the sentence, I cannot know whether a deity exists or not, and neither can you.
Yeah.
Yes, but I can believe it doesn't. This isn't rooted in logic, Mr. Agnostic man.
Yeah, but
If
that's
it's-
just
yeah.
the strong definition.
Yeah, that's
So-
why it doesn't make any fucking sense.
so then
though,
we
'cause
go
the
into
whole
the-
thing is belief.
So we go into the weak. The view that the existence or non-existence of any deities is currently unknown, but is not necessarily unknowable. Therefore, one will withhold judgment until evidence, if any, becomes available. I don't know whether any deities exist or not, but maybe one day, if there is evidence, we can find something out.
Sure, and I think, but the thing is, I think as if someone's an atheist, they can still say, if it happens, okay, but I don't believe it will.
But I
know what I'm
think by
saying?
definition, an atheist says that there is no proof. They're not going to find proof. There is
Yeah.
none.
Yeah, but you can also just not believe in God, and that's atheism. So are they saying if you don't believe in God, but it happens one day, then you have to be agnostic?
well,
I
'Cause-
thought it was more of like if you the belief would come from.
It's strong versus weak. So a strong atheist is like there is no God, whatever, no matter what. Weak is basically agnosticism.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's wishy-washy.
Yeah, but agnosticism.
You can be whatever you want. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Fuck
Being
it.
agnostic, you have three different paths of your wishy-washiness, which is
Yeah.
the first one, which is strong, which is it does not I cannot know whether a deity exists or not, and you can't say whether a deity exists or not. And then there's the second one, which is the weak, which is I don't know, but if we do find out, then then we
I
find
just don't like
something.
agnosticism. It's literally like, yeah, no shit, no one knows. Their whole school of thought is like, no one knows, so you have to not know. And it's like, okay, but I believe that I believe you're incorrect, and those guys over here believe I'm incorrect, and you're in the middle going, but no one knows, so you have to not know. And it's
Yeah.
like, no shit, Sherlock. No one fucking knows, and
But
no
it all
one will
comes from
know.
belief.
Yeah.
And so that's
but
why I
exactly.
like this third one, because this is kind of, I feel like, the one that describes my agnosticism the most, which is apathetic. The view that no amount of debate can prove or disprove the existence of one or more deities. And if one or more deities exist, they do not appear to be concerned about the fate of humans.
So logic.
Therefore, their existence has little to no impact on personal human affairs and should be of little interest. I don't know whether any deity exists or not, and I don't care if any deity exists or not.
That's just logic. That's how I feel. Like,
That's how I feel.
yeah, yeah.
Then you
I
guys
don't fucking
are.
care.
But that literally just sounds like atheism. Like, I don't care, and no, they don't. So
But here's the thing: like, you guys are here, you're like talking about these arguments that you like and
Yeah.
all these things. If you actually didn't care, you would be like, okay. If someone's like, no, I believe in God, you're like, all right.
I do. That's what I do. I don't try to shoot them down because I don't care. I know they're incorrect,
Yeah.
so I don't try to argue
I
them.
try to shoot
So-
them down behind their back
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah,
on this podcast.
I would say, Keaton, that you would probably actually fall into an apathetic agnostic.
But I don't even care about the categories because I don't believe in any of it.
Wow, I just don't care about anything. Dude.
No, I just think
Fuck,
gods are so
takes his
clearly.
headphones off, walks out.
I think gods are so clearly man-made, and then we try to make categories to like make it make sense to us. It's
We like
it's
order.
So odd.
Well-
I do like philosophy a lot.
Yeah.
I've always thought I did a lot, like a long semester of philosophy, and I thought like every argument for agnosticism was just like silly. Like if you like, and I would always like tell people in class, and I'd be like, we'd have like little groups that would get together after class and we talk about it. And then I was like, if I asked you right now if you believed in God, what would you say? And they say, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's a group.
That you don't know. You can just say I don't know. But why do you have to be? Why are you assigning I don't know to a group? I don't know is literally just the lack of knowing, and that's what we all don't know is this. So why are we here on Earth? I don't know. Okay, you're this. No, I just don't know.
No, yeah.
It's just such a silly thing to do to me.
To categorize something.
To categorize being a human because
To
we don't
categorize,
know.
like a lack of information.
Which is what we are as humans. We don't know, and so why are we're just human.
I'm not
It's
human.
just- it's so odd.
I don't
It's
know
so
what I
odd
am.
to me that we're trying to separate each other, but we're all literally lack of knowing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's so odd.
We all bleed the same color.
Well, yeah.
Purple.
Anyway, yeah. I think it's cool. Like I do understand like the different like arguments for each, but
Yeah, I just think it's nice that we're able to have some kind of definition to it, because then we can actually say for certain, like, I can say I'm an apathetic, agnostic human being. And
You
that,
can also say,
that
I'm a neurospicy, non-binary.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then
But-
like
Spicy.
and that also frustrates. Yeah, that's a thing now. Neurospicy means that you're not.
you're not neurotypical.
You might be like.
You identify as a habanero?
Yeah, people like, and that's the thing. People like, and it's not necessarily. It doesn't mean you might like have BPD or bipolar disorder. It just means you're neurospicy. It means you're like a little.
Isn't that just
On the edge
neurodivergent?
of, yes, but people, it's like a whole new thing. So I'll see like Twitter bios where it's like, I'm a neurospicy, trans, feminine, non-binary, queer, who is this, and then they'll explain their sexuality. People just fucking love categories. People love this shit so much, whether it's religion, sexuality, gender, everything.
Why can't you just
Mental.
be Jim?
Or like and
fucking
I've always
move
had a
on.
problem with how goddamn much we like to categorize every single little thing, which is the basis of argument, which is the basis of war, which is the basis of poverty, with everything, to creating categories for all this shit. Like,
But-
I mean, we
but how will
tax
we
people
know-
differently based on their income. It's
How
like
will we know
wild.
what movies to pick if we don't have categories?
I like categorizing movies.
Titanic could be a comedy. We don't know.
I laughed a little.
Yeah, I just have a.
I did when he died, and it's funny as fuck.
I think I like philosophically. This is cool, but like, yeah, I have a problem with how many categories we make up.
I agree with you. I don't like categories. Like what is the ultimate point of
To
categorizing?
differentiate, because people
It
want to
just-
feel unique. People want to feel different, and they want to be able to discuss that.
Well, I think people want to get along, and so they fit in a category that other people fit into, so that they don't feel like
Yeah, exactly.
on the outside.
or the opposite. I mean, if
True.
you're because if you put yourself as neurospicy and neurodivergent or whatever, then that kind of person typically wants to be a little different,
If I had
and they want to find their different people too.
what do you say that was
So,
like a Twitter bio or something?
I've just seen it all over.
If I had a Twitter bio, I would say I might be human.
My dad's is a, what is it? It's pretty funny. Ugly flesh sack of mostly water.
That's good.
I love it.
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing about I guess this category thing, so I can get back to my topic.
Yep.
I've been binge watching BoJack Horseman, and one of the characters, Todd, he slowly
love Todd.
kind of finds out that he is asexual, but he actually doesn't know how to describe it as people are trying to help him kind of figure it out, because there's a girl from his past that really likes him, but he always kind of skirts her when it comes to sexual stuff. And so she's like, "What's your deal? Are you gay?" And he's like, "No, I'm not gay, but I don't think I'm straight either."
Just I don't like fucking.
Yeah.
And
Like, okay, there it is. That's the category. I don't really like fucking.
yeah, but then
You know what I mean?
there's like in asexual and stuff, there's also different things with that.
But
It's
maybe he
just like-
feels so much pressure because everyone has a category and he needs to be able to explain that because people ask about it. If no one gave so much of a shit about their category or your category, maybe he could just say, I don't like fucking, and people can move on.
But here's the thing: is like
Come
some
be
people,
my friend. I don't give a shit about anything.
some people couldn't move on. Like some people needed to kind of have it defined in a way for them to be like, "Oh, okay, that's what you are."
And I think that's
can
because,
accept you.
personally, I think that's because of how the norm is, how many categories we've normalized, how normal it is to go to a party and people just explain themselves to an exact T, to a number, to
Yeah.
a science, and we can't just exist normally as whoever the fuck we are. I don't like fucking, I kind of tomboyish, I don't know. I like to wear skirts sometimes.
Well, that
I
goes
don't
with
know.
a lot of things. It's like, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? What have you been up to? What do you do?
Like what?
And it's like
yeah.
you have to like give them your whole life plan. It's like, why can't you just be like, man, trees are fucking
Yeah,
weird.
and
right?
nowadays it's so goddamn. Everybody needs a goddamn exact category with this word and this, and then I can relate to you on this and that, and it's like I don't like going out a lot now because of it, because everyone wants to know all these very goddamn really weird categorically specific things about who I am, and I'm like, I don't fucking know, and they're like, well, are you like up to date with things? And I'm like, no, clearly fucking not, because I don't want to be.
I
And
live
the
in my
point
own
is that
world.
if you aren't up to date, then and you aren't in these categories and
You're
you don't
weird.
figure it out. Somebody called me out for not putting he, him in my bio. And I was like,
go fuck yourself.
I'm a fucking dude. I don't have to. And like, but it's becoming normalized. And if you don't, people become, they maybe are. I'm a cis white guy. You know what I mean? But like people that are a little less convicted in who they feel like they are, want these categories, and that's good. That's fine. But I think it's being pushed more so because of people that want to know their categories, to like figure it out. Like, who are you? So I can feel safe or whatever it might be. It's weird.
Yeah, but like to me, you are Keenan.
Yeah.
You are your name.
I am not asexual. I like to have sex. This guy
Right.
does not like to have sex. He just doesn't like fucking.
But like beyond
it's gross
that,
to him. I don't know, whatever
I
it
don't.
might be.
I don't care
And this
about
definitely
anything
offends
else.
people too because I'm just
huge.
because I'm
Because you're a white man.
I'm hating on their categories.
Well, Mike, why can't I exist? No, you can. It's just it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the thing for me is I if people want to categorize themselves in that way, totally go for it. If they ask me about those categories, I'll be like, oh, I'm not fully aware of what that is. And if they want to inform me on it, I'm here to listen. But I might not go out of my way to also continue to do that.
It's like if people start informing me on their categories, I'm just going to start talking about things they don't care about. Oh, yeah, so I landed this sick or like a cab 3 switch fucking method on this hill. And let me tell you all about it. What are your like stances for snowboarding? It's like the people like this is my because I snowboard. This is how I would think about it. If I'm in a lift line and someone's like, "So what are your stances? What are your bindings? What are you rocking? Do you have Gore-Tex? Like all this shit." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up and let's just ride." Like, why do you care about all my gear? Why do you care about my stance?
Because you're
why
good,
do you
dude,
care
and
about
obviously,
my goggles
if I have
and my
your gear,
tint?
I'm gonna be.
And I was riding with some guy yesterday who wasn't very good, and he was like, "Oh, my goggles, I just don't have the right like." He was talking about whatever the visibility rating for like certain sun rays you can come through. It was cloudy and hard to see, and he was just talking about how his goggles weren't the right like visibility rating. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. You're just not that good, and that's okay. But like, dude, oh, my category for my goggles isn't correct for this day.
It's just an excuse.
Jesus Christ. It's excuses.
It's excuses.
It's just it's weird.
Just
anyway,
an excuse.
I could go on about this shit, but it's just fucking all weird to me.
So let's get back to agnostic.
Just ride.
Yeah,
Just ride.
yeah. You guys know we're categorized as comedy, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
So him.
Well, why do they have to know? Why can't we just exist?
I categorize myself.
Why do I have to be a comedy show? What if we're like just talking about philosophy and like comedy?
He's
and
gonna have his own podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna be like. We're just gonna see him like park on the road and then just like go to the back.
Yeah, just run into the studio and we're like, we're not doing a podcast today.
Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong building. That one was labeled comedy. Today I was feeling like talking about philosophy, so I went to the wrong building because I knew
This place is labeled Josh's house. Do you care?
I should get a sign that says Josh's house. So some history about agnostic.
But what if somebody says Cooley's house? They go to the wrong house.
I don't
No,
own
that's
this
true.
place.
No, but
I do not.
Hinduism holds strong traditions and philosophical speculation and skepticism. Skeptic. There was a hymn written from the Rig Veda, which is a collection of Veda era hymns.
And that's hymn.
Sure.
no,
For,
it's
it's him.
Yeah,
You're saying it
but-
right, but I'm saying for the people that
Yeah, hymn.
it's him like HYMN.
I was just like, and I've been doing that wrong for
No, you got it. You
decades.
got that one right.
Okay.
Him.
So yeah, this like 10-line hymn
Stupid.
is but after all, who knows and who can say whence it all came and how creation happened? The gods themselves are later than creation, so who knows truly whence it has arisen? Whence all creation had its origin, he, whether he fashioned it or whether he did not, he who surveys it all from the highest heaven, he knows, or maybe even he does not know.
What?
he knows. Oh, maybe he doesn't know.
It's just kind of this like this
That's a hymn for you, right
this
there.
whole thing of like, you know, the gods could have actually created everything. The gods could have came slightly after creation and created everything, but they didn't know what happened before. Like it's just kind of this thought of just like, well, you know, we could have this defined thing, but what if even this defined thing, it's like, what if that is the truth? What if there's, you know, more to this?
And I'm all like, do you know there's aliens, right? Why are you thinking about Earth so much?
Let's see.
Is there a religion for like having the earth be your god?
Yeah, that's
Jim?
hippie.
Jim?
You're a hippie. No, there's probably a name for it. There's definitely a
Yeah.
name for it.
Yeah.
Like Pastafarianism is you believe in a giant spaghetti monster in the sky?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a name for them.
Yeah.
Which is more fucking believable than Christianity.
Yeah. Actually, there was my dad always tells me this story of when my grandpa was working in the garden and some
Pantheism.
Pantheism?
Yeah, that's what I remember. That
okay.
holds the belief that the universe, nature, and Earth are all part of a single divine entity. God is everything. Everything is God. But like when you're like really into the Earth, it's just pantheism, pretty much.
I like dirt.
So
Dutch co.
these Jehovah's Witnesses came
Yeah.
by while he was in the garden and was just like, hey, can we, talk to you about our religion? And he's just like, why do you need to talk to me about your religion? I'm practicing my religion right now. I have my hands in the dirt. I'm growing things. I watch my children play. I go to work. I do all these things. I am living my religion.
That's pantheism. That's exactly. Well, I mean, that's just called like I fucking love my life thing. But
Yeah,
but like
he didn't see it as a category, Mister.
this is exact. No, and I agree with that.
Mister?
I don't think you should have to, but there is a name, and it says pantheism does not involve a belief in deities, spirits, or any supernatural powers. Instead, pantheists believe that what is divine is right here on Earth. In fact, it is Earth. Pan means Earth, obviously.
Boy, howdy, we're way past the line of getting everybody on board for this, aren't we?
Pantheism's central tenet is that the universe, the Earth, and nature are divine, and so they should be treated as sacred.
But I want
So life
I
is
want
good. Treat
bacon.
it as a nice thing. You're alive.
I want bacon
Pantheist.
on my burgers.
No, I'm
and
just saying I
stuff.
like life. You should treat the Earth well because we live here. No, you're a pantheist.
God gives me bacon, so I want bacon. It's an argument.
One thing
You're
that I
a
thought
Burger
was
Kingist.
Want it.
One-
Sure.
One thing that I thought was really interesting was a lot of that I found out philosophers like Aristotle. The question
yeah.
that I thought
Not
was
an
a painter,
artist.
not a painter,
Not a painter.
Aristotle, Anselm,
Hayek.
Aquinas, Descartes, and Gödel.
Descartes.
Descartes, and Gödel tried to argue
Gödel.
Good. Yeah.
Gödel.
I know one of them's Descartes. I don't know what the other one is.
Yeah, to argue to rationally prove the existence of God. But the skeptical arguments from Hume and others convinced many later philosophers to stop trying. So because we have agnostic, people had stopped trying to basically prove that there is a God through philosophy.
Makes sense to me.
So
It does.
it has its place. Charles Darwin, who studied
Darn.
You want to try that again?
Charlie Darn.
Charles Darwin,
Darn.
who studied as an Anglican clergyman.
Angelican.
I did not type that in right. Soon,
Or
lost
no,
his-
Anglican. Excuse me.
Anglican.
Yeah, not
he
Angelican,
believed in
Anglican.
fishing. Soon lost his faith, but still helped with the church, stating someone who could both be an ardent theist and an evolutionist. He would later describe himself as agnostic.
He also believed in science and shit that was measurable,
Yeah.
like evolution.
Yeah, so he had, in a way, he was saying that you could kind of hold both.
And bring back natural selection.
And that's tough too. It's like, okay, well, yeah, if you're talking about God being pantheist, kind of God, like where the whole universe is a God, Earth is God, trees are God, then of course I'm agnostic because I believe God's right here. But if your God is Judeo-Christian, because then you get in the categories of what kind of God and what kind of religion. Like, how can you be, maybe you're atheist in terms of this religion and this thought process and these deities, but then you're agnostic in terms of these ones. It's just like,
Which that was the whole argument between the ancient Romans and Christians
Yeah.
was like, you don't believe in our gods, you're atheist.
Why can't it just be like, I believe in like a Hindu god and I believe in like a
it can
Christian
be, but like I said, everyone wants to fucking make these categories and fight over them.
But then the end of it is like, I believe in this god. I believe in this
Yeah.
god. And they're like, sick. You want to hang out?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't, like,
I think
Because actually, I am not.
but my God is better than you,
ridiculous.
and I'm going to kill you for thinking otherwise.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole thing is like people can't be wrong.
It's
Exactly.
fucking ridiculous.
So this whole category thing is just like,
Just give it up. Stop
I mean,
bitching about
it's
it.
just fucking sanctions off people from one another. It's
You know what?
ridiculous.
It's silly.
I mean,
It's a whole bunch
you know
of
what the craziest
filling in.
category is? Fucking white and blacks, and we literally slaved them. So I just hate the idea of like categorizing people from each other.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Why
mean,
do we do that? Stop that.
I'm a human.
You skiers and snowboarders fight.
Skis better.
Yeah, it's like you were all falling down a mountain with a plank. Just chill.
Slightly in control.
Yeah, slightly.
That's it.
I do want to say that I saw for the first time skinny skis that are like almost smaller than the width of
Like
the
race
boot.
skis. Yeah, they are.
It's
Race skis are like
Ridiculous.
cross country skis are pretty small.
I mean, like they were right on toothpicks. It was wild.
Yeah, I've seen some race skis like that. Just like a
Yeah, because they were like, and people
Those
said,
guys are fucking stupid.
Those guys
Nobody likes those guys.
so criticism of agnostic, which I mean, you guys have already criticized it pretty hard, but let's find some more. Theistic critics argue agnostic cannot be practiced, as you can either believe in a god or believe there is no god. Kind of black and white with it.
Yeah, that's a big problem. People believe black and white.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's again, you can't. You have to be one way or the other. You have to be this side or the other side.
I'm gray.
Richard Dawkins said about himself, "I am agnostic only to the extent that I am agnostic about fairies and at the bottom of the garden." Dawkins also identifies two categories of agnostics: temporary agnostics in practice, TAPS, and permanent agnostics in principle, PAPS.
God, bullet point. More categories. Bullet point.
He states that agnosticism about the existence of God belongs firmly in the temporary or TAP category. Either he exists or he doesn't. It is a scientific question. One day we may know the answer, and meanwhile we can say something pretty strong about the probability, and considers PAP a deeply inescapable kind of fence sitting.
Believe in it if you want or don't. I don't care.
Yeah, and ladies,
Doesn't affect me.
this is a PAP that you don't want smeared.
Yeah. Don't get this with pap smeared.
They don't want those anyway.
Nope. But yeah,
there's probably some fetish.
They're important.
that's basically what I had on it. I found it really interesting to kind of dive into it and have like a better idea of kind of, especially agnostic.
Yeah.
Because it's really interesting because, I mean, just with atheist having the two categories, one of them is just agnostic. So it's like you're only kind of one way with atheism, and then the rest of them are just agnostic.
I don't align with atheists who are like running around. There's no God. Because to me, that's just as annoying as there's God. It's like, so I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
there's levels to
I'm
things, but-
I'm not really for all that. It's just why stop it.
You know,
I
Jim-
only
think
do that here on the podcast.
Jim Jeffries, the Australian comedian, he made another joke. He basically said, there's like a metaphor, like life is a bunch of train cars. And the human civilization, the progression of civilization is moving. It's a bunch of train cars moving. And in the front, you have scientists, atheists, people who are just trying to make progress, save the oceans, go to different planets, I don't know, things like that. And then you have agnostics who are like, well, I don't know, I don't know. And there's lack of conviction, blah, blah, blah. And then you have, I don't know, but then you have like teachers and all these like really good people who are doing all these good things. That'd be in the front probably, but whatever. And in the back you have religious folk who are like, well, God works in mysterious ways, and fighting and doing wars and all these heinous things. And then he's like, all these people in the front, they're probably just looking at that last car, just like, we could just cut the chain. We could just do it. Yeah, because how much faster could we go if we just cut the fucking chain?
Oh, so much.
And
faster.
that's where my head's at. I'm like, stop fucking quabbling so much. What are you waffling on about? Just fucking
What are you quabbling
Either-
and waffling about?
either get up here or we're gonna cut the chain. Like, stop fucking
Yeah.
tripping, bro. Like, stop.
Sit down. Shut up.
Oh, you're a neurospy. You're okay. You know what? Whatever. Just, do you want to progress,
My hand is
or are you?
it's on the button to let the last car go.
And all these categories to me are kind of just selfish because we're all just fucking categorizing ourselves because we want to be special or we want to fit in with whatever and we want this and that. But it's like if we all just thought as each other more in unison instead of different categories, and we just worried about more of what we wanted for a human race rather than individual races, individual schools of thought, individual blah, blah, blee, blah, and whatever the fuck it might be, we'd be a lot better off and we'd be a lot fucking further by now. But
I tell you, there's only one race I believe in: NASCAR.
The Indy 500.
Goddamn right.
But yeah, Jim Jeffries, if you guys haven't seen that special, I
He's
forgot
good.
what it's called. It's fucking great.
Yeah, Jim
It's on
Jeffries.
Believe it or
there's a lot
not.
of shit. It's very good.
Jim Jeffries, believe it or not.
Oh, sorry, that's Jim Ripley's.
My God.
Yeah, so now that you guys have your brains moving, are you ready for some quiz
I
time?
haven't had any food today.
Mine hurts now.
Well, it's going to hurt a little bit more once the band starts playing in this tiny room. Hit it. Nice.
You see that thing I was doing with my neck there?
Yeah, it was nice.
Did you see my neck move?
You
bet
can
y'all
see
can do
it
that.
too. We have video both on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah, maybe I was doing something. Maybe I wasn't. Prove me wrong.
And
or
we
right.
have video on 4chan.
Nice. Yes, we live stream to 4chan every Monday. At
Please tell me that's a joke.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's a thing anymore.
Definitely.
I never actually
Yeah.
went on that.
Don't
It's so
You
uncomfortable.
don't have
Don't.
to.
don't. Go
No,
down.
I know.
Don't go down that.
I know of it. I'm not
So
dumb.
we are playing the no name trivia game. I have 10 questions. I'm going to ask you guys questions. If you get the answer correct, you're going to hear this noise. If you get it wrong, you're going to hear this noise. If you say something totally out there, you're going to hear this one.
Fuck you.
Or maybe even this one.
That boy ain't right.
Okay.
That's pretty.
So, you just have to raise your hand. I'm going to try and do my best to read the question and say it.
I'm going to do my best to read out loud.
Read out loud and also see you guys raise your hand.
Question 1. What are your answers?
And as your host, I'll be doing the impossible. I will be reading while simultaneously speaking the words I am reading out loud with my mouth today. First ever.
It has nothing. I mean, you guys,
10 times in a row.
I had so much of a struggle pronouncing words today. So, this is similar. It's going to be
Descartes.
jeopardized. So I have 2 categories, 5 questions in them. They're going to get
Oh.
easy to hard. You
Yes.
don't have to answer in Jeopardy format.
I will though.
Today's
So-
the day. I'm feeling it.
Here is
I hope so.
brain. Come on,
I hope
brain.
You're right, dude. I
the
hope so.
first category is Earth Day at 50.
Fuck does that mean?
50 years of Earth Day. So here's
When
the
you're
first.
50.
I'm
50
going,
years old.
Nat Geo is honoring the 50th anniversary of Earth Day with a special about this activist who has a special bond with chimpanzees. Cully.
Jane Goodall.
What the fuck, man? I'm fucked.
You don't know
Hey,
Jane Goodall?
No, I do now. After I like didn't put. That's not something I would have thought about.
I was thinking
crazy.
Richard Attenborough, and then you're like, with chimpanzees? I was like,
Attenborough.
Jane
1-0.
Goodall.
Jesus.
Also, I just researched chimpanzees.
For a second, I was
so-
like, Greta. Oh wait.
Yeah, when I did the quiz, I totally forgot what Coley's topic was, and so when he told me about it today, I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, it was a little.
So that was kind of a cop out. Actually, I knew about Jane Goodall before the chimpanzee thing.
yeah,
so-
well, you know,
I know more.
little
Than
sus. That's just a little sus is all.
Nope.
Next question.
I went to school.
A theme of Earth Day 2018 was ending plastic pollution. One suggestion is when you order a soda, say no to this. Oh God.
I think I'll give it to Keenan because he was like a fraction of a second before.
Keenan.
Straws.
1-1.
Boy, that's loud
Is it?
in my brain. Yeah. But also, my head hurts now, so it's like everything is loud.
Let's see. Earth Day reminds us that in 2020, nations are expected to bump climate change commitments to the agreements of 2015 made in this city. Cully,
Fuck.
I don't know why I raised my hand. I don't know.
do you want to answer or do you want to let it go?
Washington D.C.
Chance for a steal?
Paris.
Yes, the Paris Climate Change Agreement.
Yep.
Yep.
2-1. The first Earth Day took place in 1970, inspiring this act in the same year that sought to keep our skies free from pollution.
Ooh.
1970
3,
act.
2, 1.
I don't know the name.
That's it. That's all he gave us for thinking. Oh God.
I was looking for the Clean Air Act.
Clean air.
Didn't know that was that long ago.
In 2010, Earth Day brought about a tree planting initiative named for this uppermost section of a forest trees.
Can you what?
In 2010, Earth Day brought about a tree planting initiative named for this uppermost section of a forest trees. Keenan just barely.
Canopy.
Yeah, that was. But do we have to get the act?
It's called
It's
the
just
Canopy Act.
The
It's
canopy.
just the Canopy Act. Oh, okay.
They were looking for the canopy.
Just the canopy.
That's
Oh,
correct.
okay.
3-1.
Yeah.
And now we're on to the next, which is episodes of sitcom.
Fuck! I had it, and now I'm fucked.
I'm
Back, baby.
I'm gonna say
shit. God
I'm gonna say
damn it.
episode names, and you're gonna tell me the sitcom.
I'm
So,
fucked.
first question. Stewie kills Lois. Cully.
Family Guy.
I should have got that.
Next one. The show where Lilith comes back, and Murder Most Maris. Coley.
How I Met Your Mother.
3-3.
Just like that. Just let him fuck.
Leap to Faith, and The Worst Possible Use of Free Will. Keenan.
Free Willy.
I deserve that.
Chance for a steal.
Can you read the questions again? What are the episodes? Leap to Faith and
The Worst Possible Use of Free Will.
American Dad?
I was looking for The Good Place.
That's a great show.
He said will and free, so it's Free Willy.
That boy ain't right.
I'm just using logic.
Next question.
33, buddy.
I know.
3-3.
I'm fucked.
Secret Shopper and Cloud9 Academy.
Those are names of episodes for something?
Yes.
Fuck me. I'm fucking.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Literally no idea at all.
I was looking for Superstore.
I don't even know what that is.
I've never seen that show.
Oh, I recently just finished it. It's pretty good.
Superstore?
Yeah.
Never even heard of that.
It has America Ferrera in it.
Who's that?
America Ferrera.
She's Ugly Betty and Ugly Betty.
She's one of the
What's that?
traveling sisterhood pants, right?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she was considered fat like in the early 2000s, but you look at her and you're like, that's a beautiful woman. That's not fat.
I don't know any of the things you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Last question.
Oh,
Love is all around, and we want Baxter.
Fuck.
I just have no. I don't watch TV like that. I don't watch sitcoms.
3, 2, 1. I was looking for The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
No idea what that is.
I've never seen it. I know what it
neither
is,
do
but
I.
I've never seen it. It's an old
The
show.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore.
I do not watch sitcoms. It's my least favorite type of television.
Well, we need a tiebreaker.
We do. So, here's the tiebreaker. The category is theater etymology.
What?
Theater etymology.
So the study of theater.
It's the words. Etymology is like word history.
Oh, is that what that is?
I'm pretty sure.
Etymology.
I could be completely lying to
I
you.
don't know. You're probably right. I don't know what that means. Cool.
So,
That sounds hard.
What
too.
is
Hey.
etymology?
Fuck. The theater's the words.
a centuries-old type of performance. This word includes Greek roots, meaning imitator of all.
Can you repeat the question, please, sir?
A centuries-old type of performance. This word includes Greek roots, meaning imitator of all. Keenan.
Mime.
Chance for a steal.
He didn't give him a fuck you, so that was a big exhale. I was thinking mime originally.
3, 2.
Mimery.
He said this word. I was like, one word.
I was looking for pantomime.
Oh, that's the full word for it? It's not just mime?
Pantomime.
Well,
No, I think miming is one thing. Pantomime.
I think pantomime is the Greek root of mime, but mime is what he meant.
No.
Panto.
Pantomime, a dramatic entertainment originating in Roman mime, in which performers express meaning through gestures accompanied by music.
Miming. That's what mime is, but I didn't say pantomime because that's the whole Greek root.
Next one.
So we were right. It's the
yeah,
right word.
it is
just
miming.
didn't know it was
So no,
pantomime.
pantomime.
Well, Coley, do you want to give it to him?
No. No, because we both got the same thing and we were both judged.
Well, I was
wrong.
first though. So
Yeah, but it was wrong.
yeah.
It was miming, not pantomiming.
Okay. Inventors and inventions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
During World War I, he directed the wireless service of Italy's army. Coley.
Nikola Tesla. I think that's a yes.
Fuck you.
Damn.
Chance for a steal.
I heard wireless and I was like, why not?
Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm so sorry.
During World War I, he directed the wireless service of Italy's army.
Directed the wireless service.
You said it's an inventor? That category?
Or scientist.
Inventors or inventions?
He directed the fucking... It's not Mussolini.
Okay, 3,
New.
2, 1.
Mussolini.
No.
I don't know.
Marconi. Okay, I'm
Marconi.
gonna go to easier ones.
Jesus, man. You gotta
Marconi.
Marconi.
Okay, this category is poets and poetry. It begins. It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville 9 that day.
What kind of answer do you want?
Yeah, what is it? Where's the question?
It's a poet or poetry.
What?
Can you
It
say
begins.
Who is the poet
it
of
looked
this?
extremely rocky for the Mudville 9 that day. What's the poem?
Dude, this is like for people that actually do trivia.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
3, 2,
Fucking
1.
no idea.
I thought you would have this one, Keenan. Casey at the bat.
I don't.
I've never
read
heard of that.
It's a-
poetry, really. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a baseball. I mean, I thought of 9. I was like, okay, that sounds like baseball, but I didn't have any idea where to go from there. It's funny.
Stop giving him good questions.
Oh, because I know Italy and I know poetry.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was Nikola Tesla even from Italy?
Dude, I don't know. I just
No.
I focused
think
on the
so.
word wireless and I was like, he was fucking with that stuff.
T-Mobile.
Okay.
T-Mobile.
I'm looking for a bug name.
Oh, fuck. I'm fucked.
A googly is a deceptive delivery by the bowler in this sport.
A bug name?
Well, Josh's Google went off.
This Google answered the question.
Cricket.
It said cricket.
So
That's it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Oh,
I didn't even know your phone was playing. That's incredible.
my phone.
Oh man, it's a cricket.
All right.
So everybody who
3 to 3 to
for
1.
people who didn't hear that, Josh, after Josh said a googly, Josh's phone went off.
A
and was
googly
like,
is
a
a
googly is a
term
move
for
in cricket.
cricket.
So his phone
phone gave the answer.
got the answer correct.
That's so funny.
Meanwhile, mine didn't even.
So funny.
It didn't
A
even
googly.
react.
Your phone's like, I'm here. Yes. Fucking. Didn't even say Google. It said googly.
It's like close enough.
I reckon.
Jesus,
That was freaky.
Okay.
that was funny.
Baked goods.
Fuck.
This all-American pie also has Dutch and deep dish varieties. Cully.
Apple.
Damn it. I don't know. The winner was apple pie. God damn it. That's a long one.
That's all American, but also like, isn't a Dutch baby is apple and like stuff, right?
I would have said peach. So. Damn it.
Peach? An
Peach
all-American
pie? I don't know. Yeah.
Objectively, peach
Peach
pie
pie?
better. Peach pie is way better than apple pie.
You're like a
I think
you're
so.
a peach pie. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Fucking
sweet as apple pie.
Yeah.
Apple,
that's
apple
a
pie ain't sweet
peach pie sweet.
unless you put synonym in
pie.
it.
synonym.
Synonym.
Peach pie.
God damn
Yeah,
it,
American
dude.
peach. What? Yeah, well,
I won again.
I tried.
Oh, that was your chance.
I won again.
I was really thinking it was like a meat pie, because like Dutch meat pie, man, but
They
meat
do
pie.
like the Dutch.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dutch baby has apples in it. Pretty sure, but I might be wrong.
Well, that's another win for the Cully.
I'm less happy about this one. I'm like, wow.
Well, that was
It's still a win though, so I'll take it.
that was an exciting win.
That was I almost lost, but I didn't.
What?
I said,
No, I know it's
okay.
yeah. Do you know this sign language?
Yeah. What does this finger sign language mean?
well, actually, there was Romans and then.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time for us to wrap this up.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you for listening to this episode of What's the Diff? Next week, we'll be doing a special episode, What'd They Say?
Special.
Have an opinion on something we've already discussed? Want to hear one of your topics debated? You can connect with us at what'sthediff.net. Leave us a text or a voicemail at 802-884-3553 or send a voice clip to us at hellowhat'sthediff@gmail.com. Well, so long,
Sweet.
farewell, and
Until we meet again.
if you're in a category, maybe don't.
Yeah.
Stop thinking so much.
Or do.
Categorize yourself. You're better than that.
It's also a very large social media thing because people want to see you category.
We got to turn this off before he gets going again.
Oh no, I
People
pulled
wanna
the string.
see-
And another thing.
Bios are so important on social media.
Biology is
human.
important.
I am human.
I try to look human. Goodbye.
Bye.
Go fuck yourself.